and welcome to today's episode. I'm looking to make some of these little baskets, which are great because they're squishable and they bounce back and they hold the shape, and you can keep so many different things in them. Do you know what, this was a little experiment. I've seen some things online and I thought, oh, I'll have a little go. And honestly, I really just wish I'd made a load of them. So today I'm going to be making some for my little knicky knacky noos that you usually find lying around in your sewing machine area, and you want to be able to pick things up quickly when you're sewing and you don't want to be looking through your sewing box. So I've decided to make some smaller ones and a couple of larger ones. So what I would like to show you is the fabrics that I'm going to be going with. These are some gorgeous little sewing machine. I'll show you one at a time. This one's little sewing machines. Have I got it upside down? Yes, I have. Little sewing machine one, and that's from, this whole set is actually from Riley Blake. All great little pieces, and I just love her stuff. So, and the fabric is absolutely beautiful. It's pure cotton. You know, good thread count, so we all know that that's very important when it comes to picking your fabric. So we'll need two of these, one obviously for the inside and you'll want one for the outside, and then you'll need a stabilizer. A really good one is the Bosal in our form. So usually you'll find this to stiffen handbags, so it's quite stiff. And it holds its shape, so that's a really good one. And I've only got a little bit left, so I must order some more. And another one is a really good one as well, which is called the Heat and Bond. And what it is, it's like a fleece, so you get a fleecy feel, but on the inside, it's actually, on the reverse side, you'll see it's actually quite rough, but this is actually a type of glue, so that will stick to your fabrics really well. Takes a hot iron to do that. So, okay, now the decision time, which fabric to use. So I will just quickly show you a sewing machine cover I had made previously. Unfortunately, I didn't do a tutorial for this. This is something I'd made previously, which honestly, I just love the fabrics. I mean, just look. But I just wanted to share that with you as well. Sorry, I know I should have done a tutorial for that as well. So let's make a start then. Fabrics I'm choosing, I think I'm going to go for outside, inside on one, and perhaps outside, inside on the other. So let's do this. So now that we've cut them out, what we need to do is fold it in half and sew along the sides. Okay, so we should have two little pockets like this, and what we want to do is get to this point here, which is the first lot I did. So I've done a second lot in the meantime. And I'll show you what we need to do to get to that point. So what you need to do is take your pocket and open it basically, and we're going to go to the bottom corner and we're going to just open it up from the seam like that. So open the seam, as you can see, and just find the corner and kind of, you want to get a nice little point like that going downwards like that. Okay, And then we just want to pin that like so. And then we want to do the same with the opposite corner as well. So it doesn't matter if this bit overlaps, that's not a problem, as long as the corner is straight. So that's the main thing. And we want to try and match up the seams so that it's nice and straight. So just take a couple of minutes to make sure you get that bit right, because the last thing you want is a wonky box. Okay, this one's not so straight there. So let me just sort that out, bear with me. Okay, so once we've got a nice straight line, and we just want to match up the seams, and we want to make sure it is like a square or a rectangle. That was more of a rectangle, like that. You just want to pin that one down as well, like that. Okay, so we want to do the same with the other one as well. So again, so you just want to separate the seam, and then find the corner at the bottom and just let it sit straight. Make sure it is sitting straight, and just let it sit like that, flat. And I like to just check that the seam is lying flat with the bottom, like that. And then you're just going to pin it like so, and pin. Okay, so basically you should end up with two squarish kind of shapes. I mean, these ones, if I were to show you what I did, I mean, they were literally chopped off from the corners. Now these are smaller. I just wanted to make a couple of different sizes, so just to show you. So that was that sort of size, and you know, this is a bit of a smaller one, so it depends completely on what sort of size you want to make. Great thing is it's trial and error. You know, you can sort of figure out the kind of size you want to make, and they're suitable for so many different things. You really can make anything with them. They're so versatile. Okay, so now what we want to do is make sure that the seam is going horizontally to us like that, because what we're going to do is then sew straight up, you know, is what we're going to do is we're actually going to sew straight down from vertically across the horizontal there. So we want to make sure that the horizontal is parallel and straight, and then getting our ruler, we're just going to mark out where we want our line to be. So what I tend to do is just line up my stitch across so I know that it's straight. And then I just want to mark out, now I generally want roughly about an inch on the small boxes, but on this box I actually took off 1.5 inches off the end. So it really, again, depends. You can experiment. The bigger that you take, the more you take off the end, means the wider the box will be. And I'll explain that to you in a second, because it'll be easier to show you when I open this up. So I don't want it to be too wide with this one, because it is just a small box. So I'm only going to take 1 inch off. So what I'll do is I find my little corner, and I know that there is 1 inch. So where's my pencil? I'm just going to make sure that line there is straight as well against my my seam. And then I'm just going to draw a little pencil line there, just to, so I know where to stitch. There we go. I've got a nice little pencil line there. And then I also want to do the same on the other side. I'll just fold this bit over so I can get access to the actual bit that I need to draw the line on. With me a sec. I'm just going to pin that. I'll do this. Okay, so just so I got access to that line, and I'm going to again just draw my line, make sure that's straight. There we go, and then just draw my pencil line in, nice and square and solid. And there we have it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stitch along those lines. We're at this sort of point, so we're just another step away from getting to this point. And all we want to do is literally, if you have pinking shears, great, they're really handy. You can find with cotton, it will fray. It's quite useful to have, but if you don't have them, it's not a problem. Just perhaps hem the edges if you wanted to do that. Okay, so we've got to this point. Now what we need to do next is this is going to be the outside of the box. So we're going to turn that the right way around like that. So imagine that's going to be the outside and that's going to be the inside. But what we want to do is we want to put the outside of the box into the inside of the box like that. So the two good faces are facing each other basically. There we go, and we just want to poke all the corners in and make sure it's all lined up. And a good way to do that is make sure the seams are lined up as well. And what I tend to do is just pin them together like that. So it's always worth just remembering that the two good faces go together, and you generally want the inside of the box on the outside and the outside on the inside, because it's all going to be turned inside out. And one thing to also remember here is that we're going to need a gap to turn it inside out, because sometimes I have been known to sew all the way around and then think, oh, I should have marked a spot where I was going to leave to turn it inside out. So just mark that with a pin. That's what I normally do anyway, just to remind me to stop sewing. Okay, so there we go, so it's all pinned nicely. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to stitch all the way around. You know, the 1/4 inch foot is great for doing this because it just helps you to keep everything straight and on the right path. Okay, so here we are. We've sewn it together now, right size inside, and we're going to now turn it inside out and just squash everything through like that. And you've got two end bits like that. It's a bit strange, I know, but what you do is we're just going to tuck that part in like that. there we go. Obviously this will need an iron because it is a little bit tight on the seam there. And this bit here we're just going to need to hand stitch. So it's just a tiny little bit there. I'm just going to tuck that in. Is a nice little box to put your bits and bobs in. It's only small, it's a nice starting project. You can have some real fun with making these. They're so simple, so quick, so easy to make. Go ahead and get started.